everyone and welcome to Germany. Willkommen in Deutschland. In today's video, I'm going to give you 5 top reasons to study in Germany. Those 5 compelling reasons because of which you want to make Germany the choice of your educational destination. Now, before we begin, I'm going to remind you that we've got 2 videos already on the channel which are going to detail everything you want to know about how to study in Germany for free, including the application process, the costs, scholarships, and all of that stuff. So go back and take a look at those 2 videos. And before we get to those top 5 reasons for which you want to study in Germany, press that subscribe button and the bell icon right next to it. Now let me give you 3 highlights of Germany before I give you those top 5 reasons. The first is that Germany is the 3rd most popular destination amongst international students to study in, after the US and Canada. The reason number 2 that will interest you is that 12% of all students enrolled in German universities are students coming from abroad. And number 3 is that Munich and Berlin regularly feature in the top 10 favorite cities in the world of international students. So let's begin with the top 5 benefits to study in Germany. The number 1 reason you want to study in Germany is for its world-class technical institutions. Germany has some of the best technical institutions in the world, including some medical institutions and management institutions as well. The German education system is divided into 3 main types of institutions. The first are the universities and the technical universities. The second are the universities of applied sciences, also called the Fachhochschule or the Hochschule. And the third are the colleges of music, art and theatre, etc. So Germany has coined a term called praxis, which they use in their entire education system, right from their schooling to their university, which means practice. And they teach their students to apply everything that they learn in theory into a practical application. In fact, the Fachhochschule or the Hochschules are industry or corporate oriented. Reason number 2 that you want to study in Germany is that it has no tuition fee. The government subsidizes higher education in Germany, and the public universities charge absolutely no tuition fee to local students as well as to international students. Now let me give you some statistics. There are 400 institutions of higher education in Germany, which have about 2.5 million students enrolled at this point of time. And 95% of these students study at the public universities where there is 0 tuition fee. But does that mean that we don't have to pay anything to these universities? No, it doesn't mean that. Let me explain your cost structure once you study in Germany. The universities will charge you approximately about 400 to 500 euros. It depends from university to university, but just a ballpark number of 400 to 500 euros that they will charge you per semester, which is a period of 6 months. And this covers their administration fee, there could be a contribution charge. It also includes a free travel card that you will get to travel on all different modes of transport within Germany. So that's your primary expense, 400 to 500 euros per 6 months. Now let's talk about living cost. The average living cost in Germany is about 700 euros per month. It's a ballpark number. Cities like Munich could be a little more expensive and cities like Berlin could be a little cheaper, but on an average, if you take a number like 700 euros per month, that number could be a good average to work with. About 50% of this could be towards your rent, and perhaps you'll take up a shared student accommodation. And about 100 to 150 euros could go towards your food and groceries, and the balance for all your other living expenses. Now, this still makes the living costs in Germany much cheaper than studying in neighboring France or in Netherlands. The number 3 benefit of studying in Germany is that you need to keep a relatively lower amount in your blocked account. And let me explain that to you. When you go to study in Germany, you need to apply for a national visa. This visa has a number of different requirements, and one of the requirements is to place a sum of money in a blocked account to show them that you have the capability of financing 1 year's living expenses. Now remember, because they don't have a tuition fee, this amount is lower because you only need to show 1 year of living expenses. Before we get to the exact amount, you would need to open this blocked account as soon as you get your university acceptance letter, and you can also open this account in your home country before you go there. Now, looking at the amounts, at the rate of euros 720 per month, the amount that you need to place in this blocked account is for the 12-month period. So that's euro 8,640 approximately. And that works out to about 7 lakh of Indian rupees at the current exchange rate. Now let me tell you, if you wanted to go and study in US or Canada, this amount would be much higher. You would need to show in your account at least 15 to 20 lakhs, if not more. So this is a huge advantage for you when you go to study in Germany, especially if funds is a crunch situation. 7 lakh of rupees in your blocked account and tuition fee for free. The number 4th benefit for you to study in Germany is the work opportunities. Germany offers a substantial number of work opportunities for you, provided you're proficient in spoken German. Let's look at the regulations. Under your student visa, you're allowed to work for 120 full days or 240 half days during the year. When the term is on, you can do 20 hours a week, and during vacations, you're allowed to work full time. You don't need any specific approval for this. You can automatically work 20 hours a week the moment you have the national visa for a student. Your student assistantships or research assistantships are over and above all of this, and there is no upper time limit for that. However, those require the approvals of the university. Now let's look at this 20 hours a week. Most students try to work on weekends for 10 hours a day and cover up that 20 hours over the 2 weekend days and focus on their academics during the 5 days of the week. Let's look at where they tend to work. Most students tend to work at stores and restaurants. But some of the higher paying jobs for you as a student, and I'm talking about part-time jobs here, preferably weekend jobs, could be maybe as a language tutor, as a call center executive, or an office assistant. Now, office assistants are not weekend jobs, but they could be higher paying. Even babysitting jobs sometimes can be higher paying. And also if you are a field interviewer. Now, you want to combine some of the higher paying jobs with the weekend jobs and balance out your work curriculum and the weekends and that 20 hours a week. Let's look at remuneration. The minimum wage in Germany is 9 euros an hour, but you could get up to 15 to 18 euros an hour. If you work as a field interviewer, perhaps you could get the higher number. Now, looking at 20 hours a week, you could earn up to 800 euros a month. And that would sufficiently take care of your living costs, of which we said were roughly about 700 euros a month. However, you must know that if you earn more than 450 euros a month, you need to pay taxes and social security contributions, which are minimal as a student. However, you need to pay them, but they help in clocking your years to become a resident. And we're going to talk about that later. But focusing right now on work opportunities. The one thing I must tell you is that for all these jobs to happen, you must be proficient in spoken German. But don't worry about it. Once you enroll in Germany, let's say you don't know German from before, but you still want to enroll in a German university, go right ahead and do it. Usually they're going to ask you for your TOEFL scores because the course itself is in English. But once you enroll, you can take up these short-term German language courses which are offered at the universities, and at the end of about 3 months, you could be reasonably proficient in spoken German and pick up a few part-time jobs here and there and slowly work towards getting that B1 level of language proficiency. That is a bare minimum before you can look for any permanent job. Okay, now moving away from part-time jobs and looking at the permanent jobs that you're going to be looking at once you complete your degree. Germany, as you know, is the 4th largest economy in the world after USA, China and Japan, and it's the largest one within the EU. Jobs are aplenty, but there are certain sectors that have more jobs than certain others, and let me talk about which those sectors are. Engineering jobs are available, particularly mechanical engineering, automobile engineering, electrical engineering, and even chemical engineering jobs. Renewable power sector is very large, and especially if you're working on the solar power, those are the kind of jobs that you could get in large numbers. Medicine is another area of priority, and statistics show that they are about short by 5,000 doctors right now. Another area where they're growing and looking for people is the IT area. So if you're a software professional, and even other STEM related areas, science fields, mathematics fields, etc. are areas where you could get jobs readily. Outside of these science and technical and engineering jobs, jobs like in the education sector and in the training sector are also highly in demand. Also looking at the large corporations where you could apply, the large local corporations in Germany are like Adidas, Allianz, BMW, Bosch, Deutsche Bank, Hugo Boss, Volkswagen, Siemens, and there are many others. So those are the jobs you can get with the local corporations. There's also some of the large multinational companies that have a significant presence in Germany, like Amazon, Google, KPMG, McKinsey. So these are the companies that would typically employ in large numbers, and you could keep all of this in mind when you're applying. However, German universities have their own career centers, and you could go to them and they will extend a lot of help to you in preparing your resume, in applying and interviewing with these companies, and also helping you choose which company you want to apply to. And benefit number 5 to study in Germany is the options available to you to settle down in that country. Now, typically after you finish your university degree, your student visa will expire almost immediately. Even if the visa was initially issued for a period longer than the period of your degree, it expires immediately on expiration of your degree or on completion of your degree. Now, you're eligible to apply for an 18-month work visa post completion of this degree program. Now, during that 18 months, you can continue to work for your 20 hours part-time jobs, and you can make up for that living expenses while you're looking for that permanent job. However, you may lose out on some of your student benefits like that subsidized health insurance and the free travel card. But you could still earn upwards of 800 to 900 euros because by then you have a lot of work experience as well. If you're doing a master's degree, you could have an 18-month to 24-month work experience in Germany. You would be more proficient in the language, so you could be at the upper end of the per hour rate when you're doing your part-time jobs, and you could be comfortable with your living costs. But the goal for you is to get that permanent job, and as soon as you get that permanent job, you're eligible to apply for a part-time German residence permit or a EU Blue Card. Now, the difference between the two really is, as the name suggests, the German resident permit is restricted for jobs within Germany. The EU Blue Card allows you to move around between the countries of EU. However, it is said that for better long-term prospects within Germany, the German residence card is preferred. So weigh the pros and cons of the two before you select one, but you could choose either of the two the moment you get a permanent job. And one caveat is that the job needs to be related to the field in which you did your degree program. And needless to say, language proficiency at a B1 level is a minimum must before you get that permanent job. Now, 2 years after you've got that German permit or the EU permit, you could apply for a permanent residence permit. Once again, it could be either German or it could be EU, depending on what you chose in the first place. And also what is very exciting is that if you've been there for 8 years as a student, as a taxpayer after that, you're eligible to apply for a citizenship. And Germany gives its own students. So if you're a foreigner having studied in a German university, you get a lot of preference over any other non-EU resident or citizen. So once you go to study in Germany, literally the entire job market is open to you if you know to speak their language. So these were the top 5 benefits of studying in Germany. But there are a number of other side benefits as well, which I'm quickly going to list out for you. Germany has a large number of programs available to you in English language. There are numerous master's and PhD programs, and you'll find them all listed on the DAAD website, which are conducted in English language. Also, the student community is extremely helpful. And talking about DAAD, you could even get a full scholarship which covers your entire living expenses. Also, the degrees granted by the German universities are internationally recognized because they are now covered under the Bologna reforms. They also have top faculty and great infrastructure. On a personal level as well, living in Germany could be a great experience because Germany is bang in the middle of Europe and you could end up traveling to all these exotic countries on your long weekend. And Germany itself is a beautiful country to live in with a diverse population. Weather-wise, it's cold, but it's not as cold as Canada. So I'm sure you could adapt beautifully to this country. So having said that, I'm sure you're opening up the websites today and filling out forms and figuring out where you need to go in Germany to study. So thank you for being with us right till the end. Press that subscribe button and the bell icon right next to it. And go back and watch those 2 videos where we tell you about how to study in Germany for free. And if you have any other questions that you'd like to ask us, put everything down in the comment section. And happy watching!